Hi, everybody out there in Facebook land. It's been quite a Wednesday. Yes, I have not only put the chains on my car to get through the snow and get out of even out of my driveway. I have taken the chains off because everywhere else is just like bare and dry. So the snow, yeah, my kids are bored. They're sick of being at home. They would rather be in school. I would rather they be in school. And it's actually finals week next week, so they're all freaking out that they're not going to get stuff done. But if you're like me, I get stir crazy at home. I have hit the gym more than once, just the closest gym that I can make it to. Oh, what a week. It's been crazy, but I'm excited to be here. And actually, it's one of my favorite topics tonight. We're talking about gym etiquette, among a couple of other things, pretty much because I see all these people post this information and these sayings about how, well, you were a newbie once, and so you shouldn't, talk bad about new people at the gym. Ladies and gentlemen, I was new once. I don't have a problem with newbies. I have a problem with the fact that nobody knows gym etiquette. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. I see lots of people that I know. Happy evening. It's dark outside, so it feels like I should be going to bed right now. But yes, Gracie, hi, beautiful to you too. You're so amazing. And I love your pictures that you posted. Kind of mimicking mine. That was awesome. I was trying to seriously think of the worst thing I could possibly think of to take a picture of. Things that I see at the gym that's just not intelligent or lack extreme common sense, such as, I don't know, taking 5-6 pieces of equipment at the same time. Just people that don't wipe down their equipment and they leave a bunch of sweat. And yeah, I've come up with some pretty good ones today. So if you think of something, if you think of a piece of information, if you've seen something at the gym that just really bothers you, hey, post it here and we'll mention a few because I'm sure I haven't seen the worst. But dang, on a regular basis, I hit 3 or 4 different gyms depending on what I'm doing and where I'm training and what my goals are. And so, yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff. I even hate to mention a few things because I'm not trying to target anybody on purpose. Or make people feel bad, but I've just seen some really crazy stuff. So we are talking. Yes, okay, yes, I remember that one, Adrienne. I'll have to talk about that. So we're talking about gym etiquette today. It is the new year. I'm actually kind of pleasantly surprised. There's been a few times I've hit the gym and nobody's been in there. I think it's the weather, to be honest. I think that it's short-lived that they're all going to hit the gym about the same time. I don't have a problem with new people at the gym. I just want to make sure that people do things the right way. It kind of becomes a little bit accentuated when all of a sudden all these people are at the gym. Honestly, probably one of my biggest pet peeves is especially when I have new people that I've taught them very specifically how to do certain things and certain lifts, and then somebody's been lifting for 2 weeks and all of a sudden they've become an expert and they're trying to tell my people what to do. I have told my people, just tell them to bug off, and that your trainer told you to do it this way, and if they keep it up, that I'll say something. So Adrienne, really quickly, we were talking about this earlier this week, was at her gym over on the coast in Washington, and the class, granted, classes are great. You're not going to catch me in them. Melissa can't do Zumba. She has 2 left feet. But her gym actually steals all the dumbbells, all the smaller weight dumbbells, in order to hold a class. So, yeah, that's kind of a big deal when they keep taking all the things that you need and you're looking for the 5s and they're no longer there because the classroom has it. Most gyms, fortunately, if they have a class that involves using weights, most of the time they actually provide enough sets that the people can use them without stealing them from people who want to use the free weights. So, all right. So, Melissa's, I don't know if we call it a top 10 list, but things that newbies should know about the gym. I'm sure everything that I mentioned, you'll be able to come up with a couple of examples. Yeah, you're welcome to post them. If they're not too gross, we might talk about them really quick. So some of them are super simple. And you know what? The first one you would think has a ton of common sense, but it doesn't. My first tip for etiquette at the gym is just put your stuff away. Do I look like your mother? I birthed 5. I really don't need to clean up after anybody else. And one of the things that I find really fascinating is that, some of these guys can pick up all the 45s, load the entire leg press with every 45 they can find, but they're too weak to put them away when they're done. If you pick it up, if you load it, if you use it, flip and put it back. It's not that hard to do, and put it back in the right spot. Okay, when I find the 7.5s where the 20s go, I have a problem. I know that's so simple, but I don't know. For some odd reason, people can't either count or see or something. I don't know. But if you pick it up, if you get it out, put it away. And think about if you've ever been to a gym that has some cute little girls at the front desk, do you really think they're going to be able to put the 80-pound dumbbells away? Put them away yourself. It's not that tough to do. We're all adults. We get it. I think my 18-year-old does a better job than half the guys that get to the gym. So if you get it out, definitely put it away. And an extension of that, for the love of all that's good, please do not take 8 sets of dumbbells to use at the same time. I don't care if you're supersetting, pyramiding, drop setting. When there's 20 zillion people in there and you've got half the rack of dumbbells sitting in front of you, it makes some people angry. We all want to join, or we all want to use the gym. We all want to have a good time. We all want to get our workouts done. Let's just have some common courtesy. It's not that tough to do. If you want to do a drop set, work around everybody else, or go at a time where there's not as many people. That's an option as well. Okay, so number 2. I don't know. Can I get a thumbs up from everybody on that one? Put your stuff away. You wouldn't think that's that difficult. Number 2, wipe up after yourself. It is a physical activity to lift weights or work out at the gym. It is a physical activity. Thank you. Thanks for all the love, you guys. I appreciate that. It is a physical activity to do the elliptical for 30 minutes. When you're finished, grab a wet wipe and wipe it down. That's just called being clean. You know, I do it at home, and I'm pretty much, besides my daughter, the only one that uses it. So it's not that difficult. Most of the gyms provide either wet wipes or towels and spray with, disinfectant. So wipe it down, and, feel free to wipe it down before you use it as well, because you don't know that the person before you actually had any sort of, I don't know, skills, whatever you want to call it. Wipe it down. It's not that difficult to do. Most people realize that they sweat. It's touching the equipment, it's touching the vinyl. The equipment's made with certain materials for that reason. Yeah, you're not going to kill it if you wipe it down. So not that tough to do. And gosh, it doesn't take much time. It's pretty quick. My next one, yeah. Okay, here's my story. So a couple years ago, super, super nice guys, but I'm aware that CrossFit gyms are a little bit expensive. CrossFit box runs like $90 a month to join. So sometimes they'll learn all their WODs and then they'll come to a regular gym and take over 5 or 6 pieces of equipment at the same time. And there was a time when I literally would get to the gym 5 minutes before it would open in the morning, just so that I could get the squat rack before these nice guys would take over the squat rack, the cable system. Seriously, they would take 5 or 6 different things so they could do their circuit. And I didn't do it to annoy them, but it just really frustrated me that they would dominate those pieces of equipment for 45, 50 minutes and I couldn't get my workout in. So don't hog the equipment. It's not that tough, especially this time of year when there's a lot of people. There's a lot of extra people in there. You can't take over 6 pieces of equipment and not expect somebody to need it. I think it's rude. So 1 or 2, that's fine. Or again, go during the time of day where there's not as many people. There is a block of time, usually midday and late at night, where there's not usually a whole lot of people in there. So try to time your exercise or your lifts a little bit better than that. But yeah, you don't own it, don't hog it. And if you are on a piece of equipment, it is gym etiquette that if somebody asks to work a set in, say yes. Again, you don't own that equipment. Let them do a quick set. That might be the only thing that they need really quick, and you're keeping them, especially if you're stopping and taking 3-minute rests on the phone to text 40 people or play a game like Candy Crush. Come on. I think there's a better way to treat other people. So yeah, Gracie, no, you do a great job, honey. So I'm not worried about you. Okay, so my next tip, and I did do a little bit of research because I know it annoys me, but I also kind of wanted to know what the general public that hits the gym is annoyed by. And this one was something that a lot of people reacted to. The next one is to be appropriate with your noise. Hi, ladies. I'm on Facebook Live. Would you like to join me? By the way, I am at Fit for Me in Kennewick, Washington. I'm using the space up here just because I'm just between clients. So they allow me to use the space and the Wi-Fi, which I appreciate. We're talking about gym etiquette today, ladies. So
Gym etiquette?
Gym etiquette.
Oh, gym etiquette.
Gym etiquette.
I thought it was a new word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I make up words all the time. So anyhow, so we're talking about having appropriate noise when you're lifting in the gym.
On the phone out loud.
Talking, yes. Carrie says talking on the phone out loud. I can agree. Every once in a while, I will quick answer a phone call if I'm waiting for something, but I don't even want to talk on the phone when I'm lifting. That kind of interrupts my train of thought and my groove that I've got going on. So, there's a time and a place for making noise, and if you're the end of the set and you're really kind of like Venus and Serena Williams when they're hitting the ball and they're really, they make that grunt noise. That's one thing. But when you make noise just to make noise, Melissa wants to just put some tape over your mouth because you're not as cool as you think you are. Some noise is appropriate and some noise is not. Dropping the weights is not appropriate, especially with weights that aren't designed to be dropped. If you're at a gym that supports powerlifting and you've got powerlifting weights that are designed to be dropped and you have the floor that's designed for it, that's one thing. But most gyms, it's not appropriate and it scares the crap out of the members. So, just keep that in mind as you're lifting. And you know what? I know none of you do this. That's why I am mentioning it. You probably see this stuff all the time. So, but like I said, if you've got some tips or some thoughts or have seen something, we want to know about it because I got to get some fun out of it. So along with appropriate noise, how about appropriate attire? I've seen some weird things. Everything from not enough clothing to clothing that you probably should just leave at home and leave it for painting. I get it. Like, not everybody can afford gym clothing itself. That's not what I'm talking about. But just, anything that's really super grungy, maybe you haven't washed it. Oh, heck. If you've lifted by somebody who needs to wash their gym clothing, y'all know what I'm talking about. It just needs to be appropriate. I get it. I know that there are people there that are looking for a date. That's not why I'm there. But you don't need a full face of makeup. If you're coming from work, you probably have one. But when you take an hour to put your face on to get to the gym to show off in those short shorts and your butt's hanging out the bottom, just go home. We don't want to see it. It's just not cute. You're not as cute as you think you are. So just wear appropriate clothing. Make sure that it's made for the gym. If you work in jeans during the day, bring your gym bag. Put your gym clothes in it. Again, I know not everybody can afford certain things, but even the buckles and the things on the buttons can rip the vinyl on the equipment. So jeans aren't really appropriate in the gym. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Appropriate hygiene. I'm not sure why I have to talk about this one, but I do. Take some pit stick with you. Not that tough to do. I don't want to smell Abercrombie and Fitch from clear across the room. So let's keep the spray to a little bit lighter. Not everybody wants a date. That's not why we're going to the gym. So if that's what you're there for, I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you to do about that, but don't bug me. Be modest. Not everybody wants to see what's hanging out the bottom of your shorts. So enough said, right? All right, Gracie, you go stretch, honey, or stretch. Yeah, go for it. The other tip that I have, how about just be appropriate? There's definitely some things that I've seen in the last few years that I've been in there that just, I don't know, the creepers, the ones that stare all the time, whether you're just lifting or whether you're in the locker rooms, it's inappropriate and it's creepy and nobody wants to feel like they're being stared at. I know I get stared at a lot. I have more muscle than the average girl. Don't really care at this point, so it's not a big deal. But for somebody that's new there and they're really intimidated anyway, that can really creep them out and not be super helpful and really undermine their confidence. So we want them to feel welcome. And like I said, and if my headphones are on, I don't know about you, but if your headphones are on, we usually don't want to have a conversation. Please don't interrupt me in the middle of my workout to ask me about my pants or, I don't know, do you lift? I'm at a gym. Does it look like I lift or does it look like I stay at home and drink beer and eat pizza? I don't know. I don't get that one. Or I bet you could knock me out. Probably. And if you keep talking to me, I might. So go away. There's times for flirting. the gym for me is not one of them. There's a reason I have headphones on. You know, and just be mindful of what the equipment is and what it's for. I don't have a problem with people using things a little bit creatively because I do it all the time, especially when I'm in gyms that don't have a lot of equipment. But when there's a perfectly good spot to do some bicep curls over there and you're in my squat rack and I need it, I'm not going to be super nice to you. So also don't be on a piece of, we talked about don't hog the equipment. Don't sit on a piece of equipment for 45 minutes. I've actually had to change my workout routine just because somebody took over a piece of equipment and they were there an inappropriate amount of time, and half that time they were playing on their phone. So I have no problem at this point walking over to someone, especially if they seem to be taking longer than usual time, and saying, how many more reps you got? How much longer do you think you're going to be there? Because they need to know that they've been there too long and I need that piece of equipment. So don't be afraid to say something. So by the way, Angie, I take that as a compliment, just so you know. I'm okay with having more muscle than a lot of guys. It's good. Okay, so a couple of tips that I have. Also, you know, if you do have a question, seek the right help. You know, usually there's people there at the gym that can help you. Somebody that looks like that they've been lifting for a long time might be helpful. But 90% of the people that go to the gym, actually it's 80 to 90% of the people that go to the gym don't even know how to lift or don't know what they're doing. They've usually gotten their information out of a magazine or online. And a lot of times they don't actually know what they're supposed to be doing exactly. So be careful who you ask for advice. But, you know, ask somebody who knows, a trainer that's there, somebody that you've noticed that they look a lot like they know what they're doing. Don't just go to the guy that's cute. Okay, just saying. It's not always helpful, and they don't. I've watched some people and going, okay, honey, you are cute, but you have no idea what you're doing. So just keep that in mind. All right, a couple of other tips that I have. Oh, yes, Robin. Yes, that's a good one. Sitting at a piece of equipment and talking to their friends. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, okay, this is not social hour. It's okay to have a buddy. It's okay to have somebody that supports you and pushes you, and you might be jumping back and forth and supersetting or whatever. That's totally fine. But when there's 5 of you and you're all talking the same person, and so now you've, of course, adopted a piece of equipment that is apparently now your child, please go away. Go do that somewhere else. It's really difficult for the rest of us to get our workout in. Like I said, this is a time of year where there's way too many people in the gym for you to be rude or, you know, just not have any common courtesy. Think about how other people would feel how you would feel if somebody else was doing the same thing that you're doing, and then of course act accordingly. A couple other tips that I have. Yeah, I call this "Don't be an a-hole." That's as bad as you're going to get from me today. Please don't intimidate other people. Please don't. It's not appropriate. You know, I know that sometimes people look at me and I've got my gym face on and I might look mad, but I'm not. I'm not there to hurt other people. But I know sometimes people walk around kind of get that intimidation thing going on. Knock it off. It's not appropriate, and do it to me and I'll probably just knock you out. Not really, but you know. Please do not walk in front of me, pick up equipment, and flex right in front of the mirror in front of me when I was trying to see my form. Not only is it appropriate, I think you're dumb. So just really, yeah, I don't get that one. It's like there's plenty of, find some real estate, find a piece of mirror that you can use. And if you want to flex, go do it in the bathroom. I don't want to see it. I've seen, not to call people out, and I know it's nobody on here, but there's one particular gym that I lift at that it doesn't matter what this guy is lifting, he will walk to the mirror and flex his thighs. That's fine. I don't want to see it. Do it at home. You're not even working your thighs, so there's no benefit to flexing in front of me except for you're trying to show off. And I just don't think it's cute. So keep that in mind. Yep, get off your phone. We kind of had a conversation about that one. Sometimes people are so loud that I lose my train of thought. Usually for most of us that lift, we get in a groove and we just want to, we get in, we get done, we get really focused, and stuff like that just kind of breaks us from our focus. And that gets a little bit frustrating. Don't get there and think that you're going to save equipment for other people. That's just rude. This isn't the movie theater. You know, if they're not there, move on. Use the equipment that you need. Let them get there and get the things that they need. If someone asks you to spot, we talked about that. Say yes, it's appropriate. Someday you might need somebody to spot you and make sure that you have good form or that you don't get hurt. So, and then I think last but not least on this one, I know that it's not your equipment. and it's kind of like a rental where, you know, you might rent an apartment, trash the heck out of it. Who cares? It doesn't belong to you. But realize that that's the equipment that you need on a regular basis to lift. Not only that, but when you break something, that in the long run actually makes the cost of using that gym go up, because they have to fix it. Okay, so the more that you don't take care of things, you know, the more that the cost is going to be there for you. And I just think it's rude. You know, take care of the equipment. I find stuff all the time put in weird spots, inappropriate. People have taken off the clips off of the cable system, put an amount of weight on something that the bar or the clip is not rated for. That's how people get hurt. So just, you know, just not appropriate. So anything else that anybody else has seen? Okay, I'm trying to figure out what John's telling me right now. So apparently it's a something I'm supposed to figure out, but maybe I'll figure it out. Okay, so other things that I know that you've all had some experiences, so if you want to share, I will be posting this when I'm finished, because I know not everybody can watch it when I actually do the video, the live feed. So I get a kick out of other people's experiences, so never know. We might come up with the worst one yet. A couple of quick things that I wanted to talk about today. Somebody brought up, I usually use the questions that my clients have during the week. I like to answer, because if I figure one person has that question, lots of people probably have that question. And one of them is, when is the best time to do cardio? And I think I've actually approached this topic before, but really quickly, the best time to do cardio honestly depends on your goals. You know, whether running is part of if you're trying to run a marathon, the majority of your workout should involve running or involve cardio. If you're just trying to burn fat and maybe lose some weight, then the best time for cardio is actually after you lift, because you want to utilize the nutrients stored in your muscle to give you the power that you need for lifting. So it really depends. For me, my cardio is done best. I either do fasted cardio first thing in the morning before breakfast, or if I get to that point, I'll do it after I lift at the gym. But I prefer to do it at home, because then I'm done. You know, I don't want to walk around town sweaty. So that's my gig. And last but not least, really quick, the benefits of a protein shake. So, you know, I always try to make my new clients understand that what a protein shake's good for. Protein shakes are not necessarily designed to be meal replacements. They can be used in a pinch, and I have used them more than once. But a good protein shake, the way that they're designed is it's a synthesized version of whey protein. It's broken down in such a way that your body can actually absorb and utilize the nutrients as quick as possible for recovery. So there's a time period after you lift where your body can actually utilize the nutrients a little bit differently than normal. You know, than it would like on a regular basis with a meal. The protein and the nutrients that you give it, the quicker that it can be synthesized and utilized by the body, the quicker the recovery process can start. So using just whatever is not necessarily the best option, but using a really good protein brand. Normally I recommend whey, because it is the best utilized by the body. Some people do have some allergies and some sensitivities to it, and so there are situations and times when maybe a pea protein or plant-based protein is appropriate, but for the most part, whey protein is your best option. You definitely get what you pay for on this. Don't buy the cheapest version of product and think that you're getting what you need out of it. Normally, if it's cheap, it's because it's got a lot of fillers and low quality grade protein. So keep that in mind. I am a taste and texture girl. It has to taste good. It has to mix well. So I have a couple of my favorites, and we can talk about that next time, because we are running out of time for today. So thank you to all who jumped on today. I hope that A, you got a kick out of it, because I do get annoyed, obviously. I spend a lot of time in gyms. And B, it's just that time of year. And with all this weather, I just wanted to have a chuckle or two. So have an incredible week. If you have other questions, you may post them here or email me directly at melissa@fillmorefitness.com. Just want you to know, big things coming. Big things come. Super excited. You will get to know all of the crazy, amazing things that are planned for this next few months. 2017 is going to be incredible. So have a great night and stay warm and stay safe.